So that's it. That's just the long and the short of it. And a couple of weeks ago, I saw that Sabrina does what Sabrina was doing what she normally does, which is standing up on the side of the right. And I saw her being attacked. And I thought, you know what, this can't happen to my friend. And I reached out to her to ask if she needed some help, or to just even just show her my support. And she said yes. And then that's how the ball started rolling. And 30 plus phone calls later, and 11 retained clients, we are where we are today. And I think that we are going to make some serious changes within this industry, because we're going to hold a lot of people accountable for their actions. And that's it.
And so then in mid-February, we hear about Sabrina getting legal representation. Again, her attorney, Tyrone A. Blackburn, has come forward and basically they made a little bit of a social media appearance. So then throughout this time, we're hearing, and we as in myself, the bunnies, and the little people, the public, we're hearing that Sabrina and Tyrone had met prior to all of this going down, and they had like a friendship or whatever. And so Tyrone, being a friend, decides to represent her and the other victims that are the alleged victims that are coming.
So, you want to tell everybody how we met?
Yes, hold on. Let me close my curtain so there's no glare. So it's a very, very interesting story. In 2019, I just started my practice. I was 2 months in. I was very, very nervous, but I got an opportunity to go to Forbes and to present myself as an entrepreneur in a room full of entrepreneurs. I got there early because I was very nervous, and when I got there, Sabrina Peterson was already sitting there. So she had beaten me, who I'm always the person in the room. Sabrina was already in the room, sitting, relaxing at a table by herself. And I sat at the table across from her, and she invited me over. And, she just asked me about my background and who I was and all that stuff. And, she can see my nerves shaking because I was trying to write down notes of what I would say. And she said, keep calm, be confident in yourself. And she really spoke into me. So she spoke into my life, confidence, self-confidence as a Black man, self-confidence as a leader, self-confidence as an entrepreneur. And it really struck a chord, and we exchanged numbers. I told her about a couple of cases I was working on. She even offered to come to New York and to start a movement based on one of the cases that I was working on, because that's what she does. She believes in advocacy. She believes in making sure that people are held accountable for the wrong that they do, and she believes in standing for women. And at the time, I had a sexual assault victim and rape and harassment case from one of the major law firms in the country. I guess one of the major law firms in the country, and Sabrina had offered to actually start a movement around it, but I was so afraid to even accept her offer because I was so young behind the ears. I was so new, and she really, really spoke some confidence into my spirit, which set me on a path to where I am today, where I'm like a mini Sabrina, in the sense that I'm very much fearless on the side of rights. And I will stand up against whoever is standing in front of me. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much power or influence you have. I will always fight.
So allegedly, where the stance is right now is Sabrina is claiming that after she shared her story about T.I. and the gun, that multiple women had reached out to her seeking, just help, seeking to share their stories with her. And so then the number was very interesting because we never really got a good gauge of what that number was or what they're even willing to, them meaning Sabrina and Tyrone, what the attorney, what they're willing to share as far as a number. But we know based on the last quote that the attorney representing Sabrina, Tyrone Blackburn, is saying that there's about more than 30 women, survivors and witnesses that have come forward with a very similar, consistent claim of sex abuse. And so in that, Tyrone Blackburn decides that he was going to reach out to the prosecutors in California, in Georgia, and request that they immediately open investigations under state and federal mandates under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, the Georgia Rape, the Kidnapping, the RICO, and the Terroristic Threats statutes. So, I mean, Sabrina's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, kind of came in and said, wait a minute, I'm reviewing this and it sounds like there needs to be a criminal investigation held. He went as far as to writing letters to, I believe one of them was the state attorney general's office for California, was someone that received a letter. Other states have confirmed receiving a letter, although they're not really willing to talk right now because they're looking into the matter, if it meets whatever statute of limitations, or if it doesn't, or if it's something that they are able to investigate at this time. And so the accusations, they include forced drugging, kidnapping, rape, and intimidation in at least 2 states. Sabrina and her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, are saying that this is a span of over 15 years. 15 years. And all these allegations, who knows what else is in between, but it sounds like they went from having Sabrina and a couple of victims to now having more than 30, and that's pretty huge. Another thing that Tyrone Blackburn in his office is doing, they are going after Tiny and T.I. For defamation of Sabrina Peterson. So Sabrina Peterson is claiming defamation, and Tyrone Blackburn is representing her in that situation on just basically the gun situation and all the other things that kind of in between. And Shikana is also part of that defamation claim, right? Coming in defending her friend. Quite honestly, like I said, Shikana probably did something, made things worse rather than making things better. So that's just my opinion. So the New York Times has done a piece, and they are also involved. They released a piece and were able to speak to 5 victims. And so there is a narrative in the New York Times that basically lists a little bit of to give us, the readers, of what those victims look like. We have a military veteran, a former friend turned assistant, an erotic dancer, and a teenage intern at T.I.'s studio and record label Grand Hustle were among the accusers, the lawyer said in the letter. So they're quoting what Blackburn had written in the letter. Now, again, the New York Times did speak to 5 people, and basically really found, in review of the messages and the photos, that it looks like what those allegations are supported by timelines of events, right? But again, us, they're journalists, we're here, and not necessarily having a criminal lens, we don't really know what that looks like. So again, everything that we say here is alleged. In the interviews, though, the women portray the rapper and his wife as aggressors who deploy drugs, alcohol, money, and their celebrity status to prey and entrap women for sexual abuse and then threaten violence against them. So a pattern of behavior that, per what the allegations are, seems to be similar, eerily similar from case to case.